Shalom, Yasha Allah. It's your brother Dan Allah. I'm back with a breakdown of the spirit and power of Yah Bashim Yahweh Shai, Bashim Rakah Kadash. Salutations to the brothers and sisters that magnify this truth from the four corners of the earth, have given their bodies as a living sacrifice. Double honors to the elders at Great Millstone for teaching this truth in sincerity. And as I titled this one, the Holy Spirit will guide you. And I want to start here in the book of Hebrews, chapter 11, verse 8. By faith, Abraham, when he was called to go into a place which he should have received for an inheritance, obeyed, and he went out, not knowing whether he went. So that was faith, because when the Lord called on Abraham to go into this place, he didn't second guess. He didn't even know where he was going. All right, Abraham just, by faith, he was led. All right, so we gotta learn to, to walk by faith and not sight. All right, this is the book of Romans chapter 15, verse 4. So whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning. So everything that we read in the scriptures were written for our learning. And there's a lot of examples of having faith. And every time a man of the Lord had faith, all right, he was spared from danger, man. Right? It says that we through the patience and comfort of the scriptures may have hope. So we're supposed to look at these stories, all right, and these examples throughout the scriptures, and it should be faith boosters, man. Right? This is Jeremiah chapter 30, verse 7. At last, for that day is great, right, man? So the day is great that is ahead of us. All right, so when all hell break loose, you're going to have faith. We won't be able to call on anyone else. All we're going to have is the Lord, man. It says so that none is like it. So the Lord promised that there's a day coming that is going to be none like it, right? And if we look down in history, there's been a lot of, war. There's been a lot of things on the earth, all right, which we know as scary times. So for the Lord to say there's going to be a day that is great, that is like none, we have to prepare ourselves. It says it is even the time of Jacob's trouble. All right, Jacob being who? Jacob being Israel. All right, the father of the Israelites. He said it's going to be Jacob's trouble, meaning the Israelites is going to be a time of our trouble, because the Lord is going to start in his own backyard, right? So the Lord is going to try his people first, and then the rest of the world. It says, but he shall be saved out of it. So those that serve the Lord in sincerity, they're going to be saved out of it. But why would they be saved out of it? Because they had faith and they called on the Lord. All right, so we got to put our trust in the Lord. It says, this is 1 Corinthians 10 and 13. It says, there has no temptation taken you, but such as is common to man. Right? It says, but God is faithful, who will not suffer you to be tempted above that ye are able. So the Lord is going to put you through trials and tribulations, all right? But he's not going to suffer for you to be tempted more than you are able, all right? So anytime, when we look at examples like Daniel, when he was thrown in the lion den, he knew that Daniel's spirit can bear it, right? Just imagine being trapped in a den with lions, all right, and not losing faith. You got to be strong in the spirit to do that, all right? And the Lord put the spirit on the lions to not eat Daniel, right? So that's the spirit of the Lord right there, all right? So it says, but will have the temptation also make a way to escape. So the Lord, by faith, will make a way to escape. So going back to my example, even with the lions, the Lord put the spirit on the lions to not eat Daniel. And that was a way for him to escape, because he stayed in that den, all right, for days, all right? And when the king came back to check on him, he was all still whole, and they couldn't believe it. All right, so the Lord made a way for Daniel to escape because he had faith. All right, it says that ye may be able to bear it. Right, back to Hebrews chapter 12, verse 11. It says, now no chastening for the present seemeth to be joyous. Right, so when you get chastised out here, all right, when the Lord putting you through those trials and tribulations, all right, or putting your spirit under the fire, all right, it's not joyful. It's not supposed to be pleasant. All right, it's very uncomfortable. All right, but it says, but grievous. It's very grievous. Nevertheless, afterwards, it yieldeth the peaceable fruit of righteousness unto them which are exercised thereof. So you'll come out a better person. You'll come out stronger in the Lord through test and trial and being put up under that fire. All right, it's just like, on the street level, when you go and join a gang, say you want to be a blood or a crip, all right, you have to go on missions. They want to test your loyalty. You're not just going to stand there and become a crip. You got to go out. You may have to rob. You may have to fight. You may have to shoot or steal. But they want you to prove their loyalty. So it's the same exact thing with the Lord. The Lord wants you to prove, all right, that you're for him. So he's going to send trial your way to see if you can overcome, all right, the temptation. All right, so with that, I hope it was edifying. Just a quick video, all right, a little bit of motivation for the sheep. Until next time, say shalom.